ladies, and welcome to another episode of It's the Coffee for Me. I'm so excited about this episode. I love doing this because it gives us an opportunity to take real questions in real time that you ladies have, that you're posting on our Facebook groups, that you're posting in our diamond community, and I want to be able to answer these questions for you raw and upfront, give you the uncut version of these answers. So I am going to go ahead and read our first question. So these questions from today are coming from the Sugar Sisters group on Facebook. If you're not a part of the Sugar Sisters group on Facebook or any community, you absolutely must go find it. It's ran by a woman named Amanda. She is a phenomenal woman. Her energy is awesome. I've spoken with her just a few days ago, just about her endeavors and what she does and how she does it. And her energy is awesome. She's so honest and pure and open, which I absolutely love and can appreciate. And I know you guys can do. In fact, she just opened up a new group for ladies. So if you're brand new to the bowl, or you are stepping into sugaring for the first time, you're in unfamiliar, uncharted territories, go check her out. I think her group is like $29 and you get to talk directly to her. You get coaching directly from her and answer all your questions straight from the top. So no better way to get mentorship than to, one, find a quality mentor, two, find a way that you can get in with that mentor, make an investment in yourself. And by far, that is one of the cheapest, most honest mentors that I've seen around in a very long time. So go check her out. All these questions come straight from her group, Sugar Sisters on Facebook. So if you want to know what it looks like, this is the Sugar Sisters group and how you can find it. Okay. It says Sugar Sisters on Instagram and Facebook. I'm sorry, on Facebook. Just go in the Facebook search bar and find it. So let's get to our first question. This question says, I need advice. First, he went straight to ask for nudes, implementing that porn is free. Now this. Am I being impatient or am I doing something wrong? So the screenshots basically ask for some nudes, and he said, long story short, impatience of virtue. You don't seem like you have much experience. It sounds like it's not a good fit. Cheers. Sounds to me like this guy's a picture collector. Sis, there are picture collectors all over the internet right now. They will come in, they will sweet talk you, they will get your photos, and they will never talk to you again. Or they will continue the conversation just to elude you into thinking that they're going to break you off something, and they never, ever, ever, ever do. So just a heads up on interchanging with photos. Unless you're selling pictures, do not send your pictures to anyone that are nudes, because you just don't know where they'll end up. You just don't know what this guy's doing with them. And realistically, honestly, once you send him the nudes, what does he have to look forward to except for the real thing? So it eliminates one extra layer that you get under your belt of just maintaining the space between meeting and being intimate. Next question. Guys, I just got $255 for talking to a guy. I didn't even do anything. He asked me at $200 a week to message him when I can keep him busy would be enough. And if I wanted to meet up, we could talk about getting more. $200 a week for texting him. That seems simple to me. Yeah. I mean, realistically, we don't do a lot of pay-per-meet or, selling photos and stuff over here because we're looking for more of like a long-term situation, whether you want to call it a relationship or not, or you're looking for da-da-da or not, doesn't matter. The point is that if you put out that you are collecting $200 for texting, at some point, you have to realize that the value of those text messages has to be heavy. Your commitment to keeping him content has to be there very much so, because a simple text message is easy to do, and any woman on the planet can then take your seat and take your spot and probably do it cheaper, faster, text more for less money. So if you're doing something like that in an arrangement, two things I would suggest. The first one is absolutely do not count on that money. Because just as fast as it's coming in is as fast as it could be abruptly ended. So do not count that money into your earned income for the month. Don't consider that, hey, I'm going to get $200 next week, so I'll just, pay the whatever then. Don't do that. Okay? Because these guys are very shaky. Very shaky. You can have them 1 minute texting, everything's going great, and then the next minute, boom, they're gone. They're off to somewhere else. Okay. And two would be to have an end goal and an end plan with the money that you're accumulating. So if you know that you're getting $200 a month, or I'm sorry, $200 a week, plan that out for the month and think about what ways you can invest that money when it comes in. Not pay a bill, but make an investment in yourself, because his money has to make you money. Otherwise, you're going to continuously chasing different dudes all the time. The game never ends. So I have a question about what's your price. If I were to accept an offer, how would the money go into my bank account or whatever? It doesn't. It doesn't. So if it did that and they took money and gave it to you, that would be considered prostitution, which obviously no websites are going to sign up for that. So how they get around that whole prostitution issue is they create an offer on What's Your Price. So if you ladies don't know What's Your Price, I've used what'syourprice.com many, 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 many times. It has made me a lot of money, but it's quick Band-Aid money, right? It's like, oh my God, my lights are about to be shut off. Let me go on the state, make this money, right? Or like, oh my God, I'm going on vacation or I'm going somewhere. Let me go in, make this quick couple dollars, right? So it's really a platform and avenue that you want to use for like Band-Aids, for quick cash. You can find long-term sustainability on there, but the odds of you coming across long-term potential versus like a quick fix is substantially different. So you want to make sure that if you are, oh, my nose is itching. So that if you are popping onto what'syourprice.com, go in with the expectation of like quick fix, Band-Aid, blanket, so that it can fix your problem, whatever that problem might be. And then you're probably going to have to go back to square one with another date. Now, what'syourprice.com works like this. You request and send out a dollar amount, or the person can offer a date to you. Now, here's the problem, okay? You ladies always think that like anything under $100 is cheap. I'm not going on a date for 50 bucks. I get that. And I don't think you should. However, the way What's Your Price works is anything over $100, right? So if you send out an offer and it's $100 or more, that person has to pay about 15 bucks to unlock that message. So what makes you different? If you're going to be on What's Your Price, you have to have a rock solid profile. Your profile has to be like through the moon, because the only opportunity that these guys have to decide if they want to open that message or not is by reading your profile. So they'll read your profile and they'll determine, do I want to reach out to this person? Does this person have potential? Does this person seem like she could be a good sugar baby or a good match or a good fit for whatever my needs are, right? So you have to make sure you have a rock solid profile if you're going to be on what'syourprice.com, period. Because the only chance you have is when that guy clicks open, he can't even read your message. It just says, to unlock this message, click here, pay this amount. So they're going to go in and they're going to pay that amount. But first, they're going to check. The first thing they're going to do is check your profile. So you've got to have a rock solid profile. Okay. Now, when they send you an offer, so always send your offers under $100, ladies. It's not saying this is my price and I'm sticking to it. It's simply just to get the message unlocked and the conversation going. So if you're smart, instead of you trying to get to the money, slow your ass down, sis. Just send an offer of any amount, 20 bucks, just to get the conversation going. Then when you get there, I've never walked away from a date on What's Your Price with $50 in my pocket, even if that's what we agreed on. So please don't feel like you're sticking yourself to that dollar amount, because that's just not the case. But the money never comes to you, ever. It'll never come to your bank account or cash out or anything like that. When you go on that date and you meet that person, that's when you receive the money from them. So the catch is, you've got to be quick on your feet. You've got to be sharp with your sales skills, and you've got to know how to sell yourself, figuratively, of course. Exploit yourself. Okay. The reason why is because if you don't set those expectations, you will walk away with $50 from that date, right? If you don't have that conversation with him and set the tone and say like, hey, look, I know we agreed on $50. What I'm looking for is blah, 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 right? If you don't identify your needs, you're going to walk away from that date with pennies. So it's important to make sure if you're using what'syourprice.com that you're using it the right way, and you know and understand that when you go to this date, you have in mind what it is that you want, but you've already talked about it. Sounds like prostitution. Prostitution would be if you went to the date and got naked at the table and had sex at dinner and got paid for it. That would be prostitution. Prostitution would also be, here's this dollar amount, come over to my house and let's do some strange things. That is prostitution. The reason why it's not prostitution is because you're not getting naked and you're not having sex. Well, at least you're not supposed to be. I mean, if you're having sex for $200, sis, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. You need a new mentor. But the point and the purpose is, okay, the point and the purpose is to say, hey, look, I'm looking for somebody. I'm looking for somebody unique. I don't want to go through the rigmarole of taking 5, 6 women on different dates and realizing that I don't like them and spending 150 here and 150 here and 150 there, right? So let me figure out who this person is, make sure that we vibe, make sure that we connect. And if this person is in alignment with me, then let's go out on a date so that I'm not wasting $150 5 times. I'm spending $150 on dinner and you're walking away with $200 and now I saved $200. You know what I'm saying? Now I saved $200. So what might seem to one person like prostitution, I can tell you, you're already paying that amount to go out with a woman anyway. You're already paying to meet her anyway. It doesn't matter where you meet her. It doesn't matter how you meet her. You are going to dip in your pocket or you are dealing with a bum bitch that you probably don't want anyway. Just saying. Just saying. So for all the fellas that are watching, there you go. So that's how What's Your Price works. I hope that answers your question. That's how it works. It's very simple. You should not be having sex. It should not be an intimate thing. It should just be for dating. Not everybody is under that understanding or impression. So you have to set your expectations, period. Question. I'm talking to a potential, but he seems confused at what I meant by spoiling and then mentioned he has $100 in cash. That was after slight sex talk and me asking if that was what he was looking for. Do I continue or just move on? Do guys not realize the arrangements on Seeking Arrangement site? I think you don't understand the arrangements on Seeking Arrangement sites. See, ladies, when we say things like, spoil me, please, right, is not the same as saying, Birkin me, please, because at least when you say that, you know that the goal is a Birkin. When you say spoil, that is a narrative that can be turned in any direction depending on who hears it, right? So like it's an opinion. Spoiling is an opinionated basis, right? It's an opinionated thought. Spoil to one person might mean take care of all my bills, pay for everything, put me through school, take care of my kids, provide me with vacations, buy me Versace glasses, right? That might be spoiled to one. Spoiled to another might simply be wine and dine in nice restaurants, gifts, right? It depends on what your needs are and what your love language is, but you can't use words like spoil. They're too broad. They're too broad. When you ask somebody to spoil you, you are now asking them to place the narrative on your relationship, right? Or your ship of whatever kind it is, right? To place the narrative and to tell the story. You're giving them the pen and allowing them to write the narrative because you used a word that is so broad and can be, interpreted by everyone differently. So let's focus on being more specific. Instead of telling a guy, spoil me, let's tell him, I want to be comfortable in my home. I want to be taken care of when it comes to, making sure that my electric is on and just making sure that, my car is on the road. And now that woman sounds very different than the woman that says, I just want to make sure that I can build my financial foundation. I just want to make sure that I can get this business off the ground. I just want to make sure that I can make this investment in my blah, 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 blah. You see, very different women. So you're either basic Betty paying bills or you're boss bitch building a business, one or the other. I have come to find that boss bitch building a business earns far more money than basic bitch paying bills. She gets far more gifts than basic bitch paying bills. She travels much more than basic bitch paying bills because these guys don't want basic bitch paying bills anymore. Do you understand what I'm saying? They just don't. And you can call it what you want. You can call it a sugar daddy. You can call it a pot. You can call it a papa. You can call it dude. You can call it friend. You can call it whatever you want. But if you're meeting someone and that person is not pouring into you, if that person is not helping you achieve your goals, if that person is not helping you get to your end goal, then that is not your person. You are dealing with a bum-ass boyfriend. He has no excuses for himself. A man is a man and should be a protector and provider, period. So for old boy, because I know that you have to be a dude, play Ty B. Sound like you're looking for a trick that's a sugar daddy? No, 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 boo. I have all of those things in a very long-term relationship. He's never been a sugar daddy. He's never been on a sugar site. He's never, ever, ever, ever done any of that. But you know what he did do? Had a woman in his life for 18 years that he took care of everything for. That's just the kind of man that he is. And if that's not the kind of man that you are, then that's on you. Again, you'll attract the kind of women that you are. So if you are mediocre, you're going to attract mediocre women. If you are determined to not make investments in your woman, that's the kind of woman that you will find. A lazy bitch. You know what I'm saying? So you'll be lucky if you get a home cooked meal. But she's going to match your energy, bro. So if you feel like, oh, that's a trick, I'm not helping my woman pay for this or that, or I'm not helping this girl pay for this or that, or I'm not providing a blah, blah, blah for her, then expect to get those shaky type of women. Expect to get the kind of women that are going to go behind your back. Expect to get the kind of women that are going to try to use you and take advantage of you in any way, shape, or form they can, because you're not trying to bend. You're not giving anything. So now she got to take it, because we don't play that shit. We will take it. We will take what we want, willingly or unwillingly. Okay? She better invest in me too. Absolutely, she should. Maybe it's not financial. Her investment should not ever have to be financial. Ever. She should never have to take money to help you with anything. Ever. Ever. But she should be investing into you. She should be pouring into you. She should be providing you with the things that you need. The problem is a lot of men don't even know what they need. Hence the ladies that come in to work with me, they don't know what they need. And we have a very thorough conversation about that. It's one of the first places that we start. Because you have to know what you want. You can't just say, oh, I want a woman that's going to pour into me. Okay, what does that mean to you? I want her to, So if you don't want a basic woman or you don't want a basic man, you have to level up from the basic place that you're at right now. Period. Okay? Period. So back to your question, Julie. She said, he seems confused at what I meant by spoiling. He mentioned he has $100 in cash. Again, perception is everything. $100 in cash to him might be spoiling. $100 in cash to you might be petty cash. That's like my dollar. You know what I mean? So I would say reiterate what spoiling means to you. Identify what it means to you and tell him so that you two are on the same page and he can deliver what you're asking for. Make sense? So this one says, I really need your advice. I explained to my pot that I'm looking for help to get my apartment, but I struggle with the financial part of it. And it's also pretty challenging since I don't have a rental history. I just got a divorce. My name was never on anything, and prove income since I work at the restaurant. It's kind of difficult, especially now. He offered this. Is this a good idea at all? I don't know him well enough. We've only met once. Here's the message. Message says, I'm glad we came to an understanding. He says, I mean, what the hell? If you need to show income to get an apartment, I could put you on my payroll at the law office and you would get direct deposit every week. Just another option. So where would you like to go on Tuesday? Any ideas or places you have wanted to go? I would love to get some oysters. Hey, wow, thank you so much for offering that. Let me think about it. He says, just another option. It would definitely let you show income. Okay, pros and cons of this, ladies, okay? Typically, if a man is putting you on payroll, he needs all of your information. He needs your social security number. He needs everything because it's legitimately being put on payroll. I have plenty of students right now that are on payroll. In fact, one of my students, Bria, who has an awesome YouTube channel that she just released with her and David. I helped that proudly. I can say that I helped that couple actually find each other and come together. But Bria has a YouTube channel, and it is all about, her and David. And one of the pieces that she talked about in our group was how, David helped to put her on payroll so that she could, have an income to show, and she could, have money coming in consistently without ever having to feel like, an allowance, right? So here is the pros and cons, right? The pro is that, yes, you can prove income. You have a steady stream of income. You can count on it. The con is, if you don't know this person, you're opening them up to all of your information. You're opening them up to everything. And you become a little bit of a dependent, right? Because now you're getting payroll money. So while you have that extra time, you don't have to work, you don't have to whatever, you have that extra time. Okay. If you're not investing that time into a way to earn you additional income or a way to create that financial foundation and make it rock solid, then you are playing yourself. You're shooting yourself in the foot. If you are offered to be put on payroll, okay, by a man you do not know, it's too good to be true. Do not accept it. Pass go. Don't collect $200. Just simply block him. Because at that point, you're talking about a man who is scamming on you. Now, the only reason why I say this might be a quality guy is simply because, this man says, where are we meeting on Tuesday for oysters? So he's here. He wants to meet her. He has a legitimate business, most likely, right? So red flags are all over the place on this. But the one thing that keeps me in a space where it's like, okay, get to know him more and then consider payroll is the fact that he's local enough to take her out for oysters. Okay. So be careful, ladies, because scams come in all shapes and sizes. But I can tell you that the idea behind payroll is a beautiful one, although it can create a very lazy space for you. It can create stagnancy because you get comfortable and you don't make any moves. Let's be honest, right? Shouldn't this guy be at work or something? Sounds like a sugar daddy. Never will I put a woman on payroll. Well, you can't put a woman on payroll because you're actually at work. You're on payroll. So the problem with talking that spicy shit is that unless you can sit in a king's chair, you can't talk king shit. You know what I mean? So low key, I understand and respect your viewpoint. But my guy, if you're sitting at work right now, talking about I'll FaceTime you, I'm at work right now. That means you're on payroll. How are you ever going to put somebody else on payroll if you're on payroll? What are you going to refer a friend? You trying to get a bonus by hiring somebody that you referred? Trying to get that Christmas bonus? So I'm just giving out what I think. That's okay. You could give out what you think, but there's a lot of women in here, so be careful. Cost to be the boss, baby. I know that's right. Well, let's not judge because we don't know how broke he is, but I know he's talking hot shit saying, I'm at work right now. I'll FaceTime you. No, unnecessary. Because unless you're sitting in the boss chair, unless your desk says VP, unless you are in your own corner office or you have your own office space, I can't get with it. Do you know what I mean? First off, you was famous and I was a basic guy. You wouldn't even look my way. Let's be real here. I have a basic guy. I'm not famous, number one. But I have a basic guy. Kaylee, that's because we're streaming from multiple places right now. We're streaming from YouTube, we're streaming from Facebook, and we're streaming from Instagram. So if you can't see the chat, just slide on over to Instagram and you'll see the rolling chat. But here's the thing. If you're a basic guy, okay, and that's where you want to be, stay there. Don't look for a woman like me because she's not going to be interested in you. But if you're a guy that says, okay, I'm at this job, I'm working at this job, I got this skill. How can I take this skill that I have and make my own job? How can I take this skill that I've learned, acquired, or paid for here? How can I take that skill and apply it to something that I can start my own business? If you go to school for plumbing and you come out and you start working on your own toilet, and you realize like, oh, I'm actually really good at this. Now you start doing your mom's toilet and your neighbor's toilet and the neighbor down the street's toilet. And now you realize like, oh, I could actually earn an income from this and build a business. That is a boss. That is a man that would get my attention. It doesn't matter if he's the richest man in the room because I search for the one that's most willing. Now, obviously, I'm already well kept and taken care of. But the man that I have is very average Joe. He doesn't drive a Lamborghini. He doesn't spend $200,000 on whatever in a month. Like, it's not that type of party. You understand what I'm saying? But I have the man most willing. I have the man that'll drop $100,000 if he had to on whatever that helps me grow and accelerate my journey and helps me build a foundation. He'll drop $5,000 on a website without blinking winking his eyes. He'll do those things for me because one, he works really hard to be a protector and provider, but two, because he is not basic and he found a woman who is not basic. And if he wants to keep her, he has to keep elevating her. You see? He has to keep picking her up and pulling her up. And if he doesn't, she's going to lose interest and she's going to venture on because she's got a boss babe attitude. She's attracting all of these boss babe kind of guys and all of these energies. And if you want to be the only one in her life, you have to continue to bring substance just like she does. If you want to be the only woman in his life, you have to continue to bring substance just like he does. Period. Let me see. This says, he couldn't handle me. What does being famous have to do with it? Exactly. She never said she's famous. You don't know that life yet. And you do? He needs a hoochie girl. She's not famous and still looking for you, so still ain't looking for you. I can't. He can't afford our lifestyle. We know that life. Facts, our men take care of us, pay all the bills, growing together. Please enlighten me on how I'm so dang slow. I'm going half with a woman. Oh, bro, you need to be here more than you even know. I was going to kick you out, but now I'm going to let you stay because a lot of this is what you really need to hear. For real. I'm going half with a woman. Lord, are you single? Can I ask you if you're single? The answer is probably yes. Are you single? Men like him wouldn't play the lifestyle because he can't provide that for himself. Correct. And substance doesn't always mean money, but yes, preaching to the choir. Yes, yes. You can go half with a woman, but she will still need you to provide at some point. He needs a roommate. Half? Half? You sound like you want a boyfriend. You sound like you want a bruh. You don't want a babe, you want a bruh. All right, what is the biggest red flag to you guys when looking for a sugar daddy? The biggest red flag to me is offering me money before he even knows me. That is the biggest red flag. It is the number one red flag. It tells me one of a couple things. Either he's super desperate, super scary, and just trying to target me with some money. Ooh, those are the scary ones, right? Or it tells me that this man is a scammer, period. So the biggest red flags I look for is simply offering me money. Do not offer me money up front. You don't even know me. Nothing could be that easy. It's never that easy. Like, let's stop playing games here, bruh. What is your intention? So that's the biggest red flag for me. The second red flag for me would be someone who doesn't want to speak over the phone or like FaceTime. Because if you don't want to FaceTime or speak over the phone, then I'm wasting my time because you're obviously not a real person. You obviously sound like some guy over in Africa or whatever. Do you know what I mean? So it's important to get this person on the phone. Get them off the website, get them on the phone. If they object, don't waste your time. Okay? Hey, sis. Just don't waste your time. Do you know what I mean? I swear I'm the only guy in here. Probably. My YouTube channel is Sweet Tuli. You can check me out, Sweet Tuli. So let's move on to the next one. So odd thing, we had a company come to our office that was looking to pair with us. Owner of the company just messaged me on Seeking. Do I respond or ignore? Absolutely respond. What? That's like a pot pouring right into your cup right there. He's like dropping right in your lap. Like the universe said, you know what, sis? Here you go. And you miss every shot you don't take, sis. So sip slow. Mm-hmm. Because, honey, it's the coffee for me. If he jumped out the window, seen you at a business event or whatever, and messaged you on Seeking, baby girl. If he doesn't work with you, if he works with you, ho. But if he doesn't work with you, if he's not in your office, if it's no HR nightmare, right? Because you don't shit where you eat. Don't shit where you eat. But if you feel like this guy cannot interfere with your workspace, absolutely message him like 100%. 100%. Ladies, let's not attack him. At least he's willing and open. He's ready to learn. He's ready to listen. He's ready to hear us at least, right? He's ready to hear us. He says he's going to subscribe to the YouTube channel. So let's just give him, maybe he just needs to be enlightened. Maybe he grew up with generational curses. Maybe he grew up with men that had shitty women their whole lives and they didn't provide for their women because they had shitty women or because of whatever reason. So maybe he was brought up that way. The same way you keep dating both broke, bummy boyfriends because you were raised that way. Your mother didn't date different. Your grandmother didn't date different. They all got bum ass baby dads. You look at your own father and you're like, yeah, you're kind of not at all what I would want to be with ever. Right? So if that's you, you were raised the same way he was. It's not his fault. It's not your fault. It's generational curses. And we have to break them. We have to break those cycles because they will, his 50-50 mindset is going to get passed on to his kids. And when his kids grow up, that 50-50 mindset is going to get passed on to their kids. And it's going to get saturated along the way. And before you know it, none of the men in his family will be protectors and providers. They will all be taken care of by women, by these strong women that these other women have raised up to be single. You don't need no man for nothing, etc., etc. You're strong, you're independent. Ugh, I hate that kind of feminism. He can learn something like how to be a provider. Yeah. Yes. I mean, it's the ladies, you have to understand that that is something that is learned. Maybe he should be a sugar baby too. Good night. I hate y'all. I hate y'all. So to answer your question, Crystal, yes, definitely message that guy back. I'm really having no luck. Ariel says, I'm really having no luck. I've read everything and I'm still not having any luck. I'm starting to think I'm not pretty enough. A lot of the sugar daddies I've seen have asked for skinny fit women. Unfortunately, I'm not skinny. I'm on the plus size. Sorry. Girl, we all fat. You know what I'm saying? We all fat. We all got a little jiggle to the wiggle. You know what I'm saying? We all got a little, we all got a little, we all got that. So what? So what? What are your attributes, girl? You got a nice booty, show it off. You got some big titties, show it off. You got a beautiful smile, show it off. Work with what you got, girl. Work with what you got. You do not have to be, bitch, I just had lipo and I'm still fat. Who cares? Who cares, honey? You have to have confidence, baby girl, and we will teach you that. We will teach you that over here, so you ain't got to worry about that. But sis, I promise you, it's not that you're not pretty enough, because I have women that look like supermodels, and I have women that look like, you're pretty average. You're pretty regular. There might even be women that some men will be like, oh, hell no, that ain't my type, right? She too big, or she's too black, or she's too hairy, or hairless, or whatever. You know, people always got a problem with something. That's just not your person. You understand? You're just not attracting your person because you're not even confident and comfortable in your own skin. So how are you going to expect somebody else to be confident and comfortable in being around you in your skin if you're not even comfortable with it? You understand what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, you have to, there are sugar mamas out there. They're fucking insane, but there definitely are. I'll keep my comments to myself because no matter what I say, y'all coming for me. Nah, play. I got you, play. I'm not going to let them scalp you. I promise. I'm not gonna, as long as you don't say no stupid shit, I'm not going to let them scalp you. But the reason why these ladies are so on edge is because they've dealt with men like that their whole lives. They've dealt with men like this forever and they're sick and tired of it. Women should not be hunters, protectors, providers, build a house, hunt, fish, and build a house. That's not what we do. It's just not what we do. Do you know what I mean? She said, you're not canceled just yet. Not yet. We're going to leave. Let's let them hang because opinions of a man are very important. It's important to know what they're thinking, what they're feeling. So, let's listen. Let's just listen. Let's be open-minded here. But for Ariel, sis, first of all, you're not ugly. I just peeped you. You're not ugly. I'm always in my truth. So you're definitely not ugly. You're just not confident and comfortable. You just feel like, and obviously I'm not going to show your pictures on here, but you just feel like the skin that you're in is not comfortable. I've had women work with me that are bigger than you, far more shapely than you, girl. We all got a shape, it just ain't the one we want. You know what I'm saying? Women that have less hair than you, their teeth are fucked up. Like, you are not what you are seeing in the mirror. And the moment that you change your perception of what you see, the moment other people will start to see what you see. We are only as amazing as we say we are. You know? You know what I'm saying? He's still here, so he wants to learn something. He does, obviously, and I'm for it. I'm all here for it. If he just takes a little perspective of ours and just does a little homework on it, or sits and lets it absorb a little bit, and, maybe he'll pay for his next date, y'all. You might have just saved the chick 50-50 just now by letting this man roam around in our lives. So, Ariel, I promise you it's not you. There's a video on my Instagram of a friend of mine who is 450 pounds. Okay. It looks like this. That's what the video looks like. You can go find it on my Instagram page. Video looks like this. My good sis, okay, is 450 pounds, okay, when she got started working with me. And hold on, let me just fast forward so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Let me tell you something. I don't care if it's your dad. I don't care who it is. No man. I don't care if you're caught cheating, doing whatever the case may be. No man has the right to physically put his hands on you. So this is her. She's talking about her past relationships and what did work and didn't work. But it's that video and the one right after it. Hold on, let me see if I can find it actually on my Instagram. And she talks about how, even at her weight, she has met somebody who is absolutely amazing and everything she needs, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Let me see if it'll let me into, yep, it does. So this is what the video looks like, y'all. If you just scroll back through my Instagram, it's pretty far down, so you do have to go back. It was like over the summer. Let me see. Right around here it is. Yeah. Right around here. Okay, so it's the picture of me and the friend. You see, it's right in between this picture and the flowers on my anniversary. So right here, right there in the middle, you see it? Me and homegirl right there. Click on that video. If you are a chunky chick, if you are overweight, if you are struggling with your confidence, look. It was just the fact. Look, my biggest fear doesn't she look like you? I was expecting for things to blow up in my face. Doesn't she look like you? And still are, but okay. Still are, okay. So I finally texted him and I said, she looks like you. When you stop talking to him until she looks like you. So I want you ladies to understand that you are the only thing that is holding you back from everything epic and amazing that's supposed to be for you. Let's do one or two more, and then we're going to wrap up. So what are your thoughts on sugar daddy only wanting physical contact, but also having physical contact with other girls, but not wanting to wear protection because it's not necessary? Rona! You know what I think? That's not your person. Because if this man is having unprotected sex with multiple women and is comfortable enough to tell you about it, number one, I respect that. Thank you for your honesty. But number two, sis, we live in a world right now where if you sneeze wrong, you could die in a couple days. So there's no way in hell. Okay, there is no way in hell that I am ever going to be intimate with somebody that I know is intimate with other people, ever going to be intimate with somebody that's a sugar daddy that I'm not using protection. That is absolutely insane. That is not safe. That is not something that I would ever condone or ever suggest doing. Okay, Papa and I don't use condoms. We've never used condoms. But when I met him, he was prude. So I knew he wasn't doing that with his dick. But no, seriously, when I met him, he was out of a 18-year relationship. And because loyalty is one of the characteristics of my man, I know he's not a cheater. It's not bred in him. He just doesn't have that gene. You understand? He's a loyal person. So hence, search for characteristics in a man so that you get what you want. Okay? Money and everything else is a byproduct of the characteristics. So be mindful of the characteristics that you choose. Anyway, so him and I never did, but we had a very, very serious conversation before we were intimate of like, hey, am I safe? Like, am I safe doing this? And he asked me the same thing, like, am I safe? Like, this is not something I've done in 20 years. I want to make sure that if this is something we're going to do, we're both keeping each other safe. And we had that very serious conversation. And I'm not even telling you that the conversation is what you should have to keep you from making bad decisions. I'm saying that worked for me. I was comfortable and confident enough, but girl, I could have walked away from that with an STD. I could have walked away from that with herpes. So every choice you make is your choice. be mindful of the choices that you make, and don't be going around seeing multiple different men and not using protection. That's just kind of crazy. We're not babies anymore. I had a man tell me he needs 12 rounds a day. 12 rounds of what? I hope that's shots, because he's crazy. 12 rounds a day. So here's Bria is on, ladies. So if you want to check out Bria and David's YouTube about, I couldn't find your page, Bria, because my other phone isn't connected to Instagram right now. But you can go click on Bria's page. She has an awesome video about her love, and how it's grown, and the major age gap. I think it's like a 40. Wait, he's 50, she's 25, so 25-year age gap. And she talks all about it and goes in depth with questions, and her man answer questions, which I think is awesome. David is the cutest little Asian thing. He looks like a really, really cute version of Brandon Wade. He looks like a really kept, cute version of Brandon Wade. So go check out her YouTube. She is absolutely phenomenal. She's beautiful and easy on the eyes to look at. So you definitely want to go check her out, especially if you're stepping into hypergamy, especially if you're stepping into sugaring, especially if you're stepping into dating different, whatever you want to call it, however lifestyle you're living. If you're stepping into a space where you're dating affluence, where you're dating a man that may be slightly older than you, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful video to watch that will definitely give you some awesome insight. So go check that out. No glove, no love. I know that's right. No glove, no love. And for the guy that wants 12 rounds a day, says if you're not overly sexual and 12 rounds a day is too much for you, you just have to be vocal, be honest, and just either let this person know, like, hey, we need a second girlfriend around here, or like, you're just not my person. Maybe he's over exaggerating. He might be gassing himself up saying, I need 12 rounds a day. You know what I mean? Because I don't know any man that could do the 12 times in a day. I don't. I've never heard of it. I have not come across one person, unless he's a short spitter, like a little, and he has to keep going to get the rest out. I don't know, but that's just crazy. My man is younger, but he pays for everything, as he should. Young men can be providers too. It depends on how they were raised, ladies. It depends on how they were raised. My man is 40. I'm 32. He's not old. We have a normal age gap. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's no like 40 years in between us, or 20 years or 30 years. Like, we are very close in age. You don't have to date an old man in order for you to have a protector and provider. Men are naturally, instinctively like that, but the way they are raised, their generational curses kick in, and they stop being the protector and provider to the degree they need to in order to satisfy a woman like me or like you. You know what I'm saying? My man does that too, and we're the same age. He said, what do you do for him? She said, I cook. He said, I can cook. Okay. See, it's not about the fact that you can or can't cook. It's not about the fact that she can or can't pay her rent. It's about the fact that if I am going to give you the best pieces of myself, right, to eliminate you having to cook. Now, you don't have to come home and cook because I do it for you. That's one less thing for you to have to do. It's one less stress for you to have. That's one less thing for you to have to worry about, because your woman, you know that when you come home, your woman has a meal for you ready to go. You understand? That gives you more time to devote to whatever it is you want to do. You want to go work on your junk car in the backyard, do it. You want to go, have extra time to cut the grass, whatever. You want to go hang out and have a beer, go do it, because your woman is going to take care of the meal, so you don't have to do that. And you're going to do the same thing for her. The reciprocity is real. You understand? You're not going to cook for her, but you're going to provide the food that she cooks for you. Do you understand? Do you get what I'm saying? It's reciprocity. It doesn't work just one way. It's not like, oh, we get these guys, we take advantage of them, we milk them for everything they're worth, we get all this money, we get all these benefits, and this guy just gets, me. That's not how it works. I would highly recommend going checking out the video, You Are Not the Table. I don't know if it's available in, it is not actually. It's in the Level Up library. It's not available on YouTube. It's not available on Facebook or Instagram, but you can get it in one of the weekend bundles. And you definitely 100% want to watch You Are Not the Table. Because, phew, honey. Why I have to give a woman everything when I can cook for myself? You don't have to give a woman everything, but you're going to continue to stay single just like you are right now. And when you do attract a woman, you're going to attract a basic Betty. And she's going to do basic things, and she's going to work a 9 to 5 because she has to. And you're going to work a 9 to 5 because you have to. And you guys are going to live paycheck to paycheck for the rest of your lives. Beautiful love story. Not for me. Like, I can't even deal with a man that goes and clocks in 9 to 5. I don't have any, we are not on the same page. We can't talk about the same shit. You can't travel with me when I want to go. We're just not on the same page because you have to go clock in 9 to 5 to make your money. And you are making the money that someone else tells you you are worth. That mindset doesn't work for a woman like me. Do you understand what I'm saying? Don't wear a wig when you watch You're Not the Table. Don't wear a wig. It'll be snatched off. Don't wear a wig. Good advice. Good advice. Shout out to all the new Diamond students that have just popped in the last 2 or 3 days. We have like 5 new students and I haven't promoted anything. So you ladies are awesome. I'm so excited for you guys to get started. It's, can we be on the same page? We can't be on the same page until you change your basic Betty mindset, right? So like when a man goes in to clock in for work, makes the amount of money that some person tells him he's worth, and then goes home at the end of the day, that mindset of stagnancy, that comfortability, is that a word? That comfort space, right? Is not for me. I don't want to live comfortable. I want to be uncomfortable. I want to not know when my next check is coming in. I want to be in control of how much money I make. I want to know that when I go live, I make money. I want to know that when I have conversations with people, I make money. And I need to know that my man can get to the bag just as easily as I can get to the bag. Because if not, what are you here for? What are we doing here? What are we doing here? You understand? We're just holding each other back. We're just living paycheck to paycheck. I'm feeding you, you're feeding me. We're roommates. I don't want a roommate. You understand? I don't want a roommate. I don't want to deal with a man that I have to raise or elevate or bring up. Now I'm going to step in and fill in the gaps that he's missing. Okay? That femininity, that longing for sensuality, that missing piece of someone just showing appreciation is so big. I would say one of the biggest things I do for my man is appreciate him. He has not been appreciated in years, and I show him that appreciation early and often. That is why him and I are still together. That's why after a year and a half and, you know, a couple $100,000, that's why we're still very much together and why he still continues to sow seeds. Right? So he better speak on it. He wants a sugar mama, but only did an old woman in her 70s will pay. We don't pay. We're too young. Are you accepting new students? Yes, I am. Always accepting new students. Always accepting new students, Amanda. Give me a call before you spend any money. Let's vibe real quick. Let's chat. Let's make sure we're on the same page. Make sure I'm the mentor for you to get you where you need to be. I need to know why you're giving me money before I can take it. I need to know what you need from me before I can just blindly agree to deliver. Right? So I need to make sure that you and I are on the same page in order to work together, because this is hard work. You can be his girlfriend and be his sugar mama then. So Icy, chill out. Hey, boo. All right. So last question, and then I'm going to come back on a little later, but I need to say this is a 48-minute YouTube video right now. That is terrible. So let me ask the last question. Probably a stupid question, but I'm curious. Has anyone ever had a sugar daddy that's never wanted sex or is okay with not having sex? I feel like a hooker when men say, I don't pay until we have a sexual connection. Yeah, that's because that is what it is. I mean, that's why you feel like a hooker, because that is what it is. So Brittany, to answer your question, it is not a stupid question, although it is what we call a unicorn. Now you can find a unicorn, okay? But you have to find them genuinely. They don't come to you just because you're searching for a guy that doesn't want sex and give me a bunch of money. You're not going to attract it, right? You have to focus on the qualities of your companion. What characteristics does this man have that you are looking for? And when you look for those specific things, the universe will bring you that unicorn. You understand? But you can't just go online and say, searching for someone that wants to give out sugar but doesn't want to get any sugar. I'm looking for a diabetic daddy. Bitch. It doesn't work like that. In fact, most of the sites will kick you off for requesting a platonic relationship or an online only relationship. That is not sugaring. Sugaring is not online only. It is not. That's a friend that you get money from. Do you know what I mean? Like, here's the thing. I've had that. His name was Ade. He passed away in February, old guy, but he couldn't actually get up. Like he had cancer, so he wasn't able to perform. So that worked in my favor. But I was genuinely searching for a someone. I wasn't looking for someone that couldn't do things. I was just looking for someone with these characteristics. And he had all those characteristics. The byproduct was he just couldn't have sex. So it worked out really well for me in my favor. But honestly and truthfully, that's why I shifted gears so heavily because I got tired of dealing with people that I didn't like, didn't enjoy, didn't appreciate, didn't value just to get their money. It got old, it got exhausting, it got boring. So I applied everything I learned in sugaring, built the blueprint, and I'm now applying that to every kind of relationship. Sugar relationship, platonic, friendship, family, dun 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 dun. Right? So it doesn't matter what realm you choose to date in, but if you're going to experience other people, you need to make sure that those people have purpose. Do not have anybody in your space that does not serve a purpose, period. The only reason why I'm in your space is because I serve a purpose. You understand? So you have to be mindful of that as you're dating. And if you keep searching for the guy that doesn't want to have sex, you're going to attract all the guys that just want to fuck. Do you know what I mean? That's what the universe is going to be like, because the intent is not genuine. You have to genuinely be searching for what you want and it'll fall out of the sky. But for me, I wanted to be intimate. I'm 32 years old. Shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready to go. So I'm not about to be dealing with no old man that can't perform. Like, what? What? So I took everything from sugaring, applied it to everyday relationships, and it works. Everyday men can be protectors and providers. They don't have to be sugar daddies. They don't. I promise you, they don't. David is not a sugar daddy. Okay. A lot of these ladies that are in relationships with these men now, and because they're not on the live, I'm not going to name their names, but they are with men in real relationships and getting all of the benefits and perks of sugaring, because that is a hypergamous lifestyle, which you should be applying to every single person. And hypergamy doesn't mean just money and being kept and taken care of. It means knowledge, right? It means networking and connections. That's what it means. You understand? That's what it means. So you don't necessarily have to have an old sugar daddy in order to make money or see success or build a business or be comfortable or pay your bills. You just have to apply what we give you in the blueprint to every single situation, every single relationship that you have. And you will see a substantial difference in the outcome of those relationships. You will find so much more purpose and value in those relationships by using the blueprint and building them through the blueprint, that when you turn around and look back at the relationships you used to have, you will see that none of them served you. None of them served you. So I hope that helps. We're now on 52 minutes, so I got to dub this. But I appreciate you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in for an entire hour listening to me talk and answer questions. If you have questions, you can drop them in our stories every week. We post a little chat box for your questions. You can also post them on our Facebook community. If you don't know where to find us on Facebook, just type Sugar Baby Bible in the search box and it'll pop up for you. And you can drop your questions either there or in the Sweet Sisters Sugar Babe 101 group. So there's two groups that I run on Facebook. Find one, drop your questions, and I'll be happy to help answer all your questions next week. Make sure you tune in next week. We're going to be switching this from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. so that I can get you West Coasters in, and not have to make you get up at the crack of dawn. So next week, 11 a.m., I will see you here, same seat. I can't wait. We're going to come up with a whole new list of questions and maybe a new little fresh topic. Remember that this entire month is No Pick November. No pick me shit this November. Okay? We're dabbing all of that. So make sure you tune in next week. Make sure you go find us on YouTube. We're on YouTube. Go like and subscribe to our page on YouTube, Sweet to Elite. You can check us out. You can find us. And there's a couple other Coffee For Meee videos in there. I think this is episode 5. So I will see you ladies back again here next week. And if you missed it, don't worry. Just go check us out on YouTube. I appreciate you ladies for showing up for me. And remember, it's the coffee for me. It's not just a luxury, ladies. This is hard work shit. It's a lifestyle. Talk to you soon. Ciao. How do I end this thing? I always forget.